Showtime. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the 23 podcast show. This is number 17 with myself, your host, David Blair. Tonight we're joined by Gary, Pete, and Joe from Glasgow St. Pauli. How are you guys?
How we doing?
All right, doing well.
Good.
Thanks very much for coming on and joining us. We'll hear a lot more throughout the show about Glasgow St. Pauli, back to the origins of when you started 2016. Going to be talking about the lockdown session that you've coming up, the online festival, Saturday the 13th of June, support of Scottish Refugee Council and Refugee, partnership there with Unite Scotland as well, the union. Some lineup you've got on there as well, quite a few people that I know. So at this point in the show, people will know they quickly go to my phone, and the rest of the guys, I'm on Facebook, so it's just going to be me. I'll be sharing the live link just now. If you've joined us, wherever you've joined us from, give us a wee shout out in the comments. We'll give you a shout. We're live on the 23 Universe Facebook, YouTube and Twitch page. If you're on the YouTube, give us a wee subscribe, please. That would be great. So what's been happening today for you guys?
Well, I'm working from home, so did anyone get better than that?
I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, so I'm having a great time. Staycation, they call it. I'm really enjoying just a bit of time off. I didn't get the opportunity to work from home. I've been working in the office for the last 3 months, so I'm enjoying some bit downtime.
Working from home as well. Wouldn't mind actually some time off, and I wouldn't think it at first, but because there's nowhere to really go. But it'd be nice to just chill and relax.
Are you just continuously working through it? Any of you that been furloughed or anything?
No,
I think we're
No,
all
I've been
working.
lucky. Yeah.
Aye.
Excellent. So the Glasgow St. Pauli, that's obviously linked to the German club then. So talk us through sort of the genesis of how and when this all started, how you guys came together.
Okay. So yeah, we're supporters clubs of St. Pauli, second division German football team. Myself and Pete here were probably one of the earliest. I'd founded it with another one of our members, Mark, and it all came about from there's a guy called Nick Davidson who's wrote the English book on St. Pauli called Pirates, Punks and Politics. That get passed around on my stag week, actually. We were away in Portugal and we all ended up reading that book. And then I'd already been to see St. Pauli in 2010. And more people were kind of finding out about them through that book on holiday, and we decided that we need to start up a Glasgow branch of the supporters that's got clubs all over the world. There was, Joe can probably fill us in this a bit better, there was a couple of versions of Glasgow St. Pauli before we'd started it as what it is now. But yeah, it all just came together just for people kind of getting a bit fed up with the football they're watching at home on the broader picture, and just finding sort of shared politics and shared interests within a football club, you know, which can spread out into music, can spread out into all different sort of shared interests, and it's brought together a cracking bunch of like 50 odd people so far, and plenty of other people that we've met and things like that.
So for those who don't know, do you want to just sort of give us a wee bit of background on the German club themselves then, sort of like what differentiates them from many clubs that are out there?
Joe is a historian of the supporters club. On you go.
Yeah, well, just taking back a wee bit about what Gary said about there's been various attempts to have a St. Pauli club, supporters club in Glasgow, but it's always kind of been linked into Celtic fans, not really a purely St. Pauli club. So that kind of puts some people off and it attracts other people as well. But the whole thing being was what Gary and Pete set up was an actual Glasgow St Pauli, just associated with the club alone. The St Pauli kind of background, they were a nothing team in Hamburg, playing about the regional second division, HSV being the top team. A lot of guys supported HSV, and the fascists on the terrorism are particularly getting stronger and stronger at HSV, and a lot of them were standing up against them, and they ended up moving away from HSV because basically chased off the terrorism. And
what sort of time period is this over?
this is way back in the 90s, early 90s.
Okay.
80s, 90s. And obviously the area where St Pauli are based is down by the harbour, in the St Pauli area, obviously it's called. And there was a lot of politics going on there, a lot of squats, people's rights, anarchists, just lots of different people with the same kind of view. Ended up Saturday afternoon at Millentor watching St Pauli play, and the fan base grew. This was long before casuals or ultra groups or any kind of organised fan base. It was just a natural kind of left-wing, anti-fascist group of people, like-minded people, ended up going to this club, supporting it, and then it kind of bled through into the boardroom a bit, and I think it basically built from there. That was the groundwork.
Nice one. So Hamburg, that's where the Reeperbahn is?
Yeah, that's famous, the Reeperbahn, yeah.
Where the Beatles spent some time playing in the Kaiser Keller and the Star Bar.
Yep.
Are they still there?
I think the Star Bar's gone, isn't it?
No, I think the Beatles broke up.
That one still there?
What was the last time we were over? I stayed in the Hotel Pacific, which is, I think it's still the same as it was in the 60s, and that was where the Beatles stayed. And as you walk around Hamburg, and particularly St Pauli, there's loads of little monuments to them. There's a nice wee statue and Beatles plaques, It is much a city. There's two football teams, so there's a similarity to Glasgow. There's a lot of music, the music team as well. From my point of view, the first time I went over, it was certainly an eye-opener. Been to Amsterdam, been to other places, the red light districts and things like that. And St Pauli in the Hamburg area, it's certainly an eye-opener. As I say, I think it's one of those places you've kind of got to go and at least see it. Don't believe in what goes on there and things like that. But I think it's one of those things you just kind of need to see it. And going to the football as well, that's such a big thing.
Right. How far away is it from, I don't know the geography of Germany well at all, I've only been to Berlin. Is it far away from Cologne?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Is
it?
Yes.
A band called Mustard and Dijon 5, we were due to play a festival in Cologne, which is going to be our first mainland European festival back in April now. So that's been pushed back to October.
What was that?
It's called CO Pop Cologne. I think it's like one of the sort of main showcase festivals in Germany. So our booking agent had done a showcase out there last year, I think it was. So it kind of just laid the groundwork for getting us to go out and play. We were going to be playing with Carla Easton and Malka. Three of us going over to fly the flag for Scotland, but pandemic had other plans for the world. Just give a wee shout out there, a few folk in the comments. Gaz Penders, how you doing, guys? Thanks for tuning in. John Latimer, evening, Johnny Boy, Neil as well there. Thanks very much. So the sports club itself, then, if do you have a football club affiliated to it at all, then, or is it just purely?
What, do we play football?
Yeah.
That's a topical question.
Between us, yeah, we've certainly got people that take part in, closely associated with United Glasgow, who you know of, David. And we've done football sessions in the city with them for folk with no access to football and things like that. That's not really given a good picture as to how good we are as footballers, but there's definitely a few of us that play, and I think it's something that after all this is done, it's maybe something we could maybe look at again. But we've got quite a few of our members now are part of the Glasgow Piraten squad, which is Alan, which formed United Glasgow. He's started up it's like an online football supporters groups that all meet together in a league, play each other. So they're the Glasgow St Pauli supporters of that. But there's not a lot of the kind of active members that kind of go to the pub and watch the games that actually play football. I've never seen Pete in a football pitch, put it that way.
Nah, my playing days are long over. Not that I was any good anyway.
Joe's pretty good.
Joe is pretty good, aye.
Thanks, guys. I'm still kicking a ball.
Hey?
You're still kicking a ball, Joe?
Yeah, still trying to kick a ball, yeah.
5s or 11s, 7s?
Whatever I can get.
What position do you play?
Again, wherever they want me. I'll just as long as I get on the park and get a game, I'm happy.
Aye, good.
Although the Pirates, I think after some performances Saturday morning, I don't think they want me back.
They got a few kickings the first couple of games, didn't they? It was 8-0 and 16-0s, and I think some of them were taking a bit too serious.
We're a traditional team. We drink hard on the Friday night to get up early Saturday morning.
Well, getting up to my name, I don't think you did one thing.
I remember my late teens and sort of early 20s as well, that crossing that hurdle of going out on a Friday night and then playing amateur on a Saturday. That wasn't the best planning or the best preparation for a game, was it?
Yeah, and it doesn't get any easier when you're older.
It certainly doesn't. I played quite a lot actually. My granda was a professional footballer. So was my big cousin. Played for Dumbarton, Dunfermline, Hamilton. Granda was down at some English clubs as well. So I enjoyed my football when I was younger. Played juniors for a wee bit with St Rochs actually. Then I had a hernia that sent me back a wee bit after I got that operation, and then just similar to yourself, Joe, was just playing 5s and 11s so whenever I could, and then sadly I got run over by a guy in his car when I was cycling my bike and had 5 months of physio to recover from that, and my right knee was shattered, the ligaments and cartilage and all the rest of it. So that was me. I forcibly retired after that.
Fucking hell.
I know.
It doesn't seem to stop you dancing about on the stage anyway.
That's true.
Well, I've thankfully I did heal. I didn't think it would be, after my 5 months physio, I didn't think it would be best to just jump straight back into playing football, and it's just well, you know yourself obviously, like how quickly that you need to turn without even thinking about it and stuff like that in football. I was just trying to avoid anything really that would twist my knee.
You might be suited to some of your sessions in, because sometimes it's a bit like a 3-point turn as you watch. It's trying to turn the ball.
Oil tanker turning out at sea.
Yeah.
So the German league has resumed then, so I've noticed BT Sport has started showing the televised games. Is that the Bundesliga and the second Liga as well then, take it?
Yeah,
it's horrific. Have you watched any? No?
I did actually, the first weekend it was on. I think it was the Borussia Dortmund game I was watching, and it was just so weird with no fans.
I think everybody was just kind of happy to see it back, but it's not the same. There's no way it's the same. I think we're pretty much unanimous in settling with the Glasgow St Pauli. I think it's a bit too early for the football, and we're very big believers in football without fans is nothing. But there's so much money involved, and sadly, that seems to be what's dictated this.
Yeah, we had big discussions about that, and the reasons behind why the Bundesliga are pushing us through. You just wonder, the Germans have been very careful with the COVID-19 and what they've been doing, but the footballs just seem to have been pushed right through, and it's all about the money. It's not about anything else. And we're finding it quite hard to actually support it, because whenever we watch the games together, like a chat like this, we tend to end up talking more than watching the game, because it is like a training session. It's like a pre-season friendly. It's not enjoyable, and even though we've got a personal stake in watching St Pauli play, it's just nowhere near the same as watching them any other.
Yeah, especially as we're kind of hovering above the kind of relegation zone again, and you're watching these games, and it's, you know, it's difficult to take it as kind of serious as it could be, because any sort of relegation for us is it's not like a normal relegation just dropping down where there's like parachute payments and all that. This is going down into a league that we don't want to be involved in at all. So watching these games when you're, it's like a training game.
I think somebody showed the stats, and there's no such thing as a home advantage while this is going on. As I say, the fans do make a difference, and we've been over enough times. We've been over enough times, and you could have 100,000 fans in St Pauli, still couldn't win. But you know, it makes a difference. There's no doubt about it. You're watching it, and it feels a bit soulless. You can hear the shouting, which is sometimes interesting, but it's just not the same game.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm a Liverpool supporter, and I know the difference the Anfield crowd certainly makes. As Shankly famously called them, the 12th man. And I know what all the newspaper reports and stuff like that, and all the updates from the various shareholder meetings and the chief exec meetings between the 20 clubs and all the rest of it. Basically, if they didn't give Sky and BT their remaining 92 games, then they were going to have to pay back like upwards of $1 billion or something, or not, 800 million for the untelevised games. And even now, the sort of last sticking point, I believe, is that they're trying to, or the TV companies are trying to reduce the contract by 300 million because they believe the product's being devalued. Or the counter argument to that is that, well, nobody's going to be able to be at the game, so you're going to have higher viewing figures, therefore you're making your money from your advertising as well. So I can see it from both sides, really.
I
think it ties. Go on, Joe.
Sorry, you're talking about the English game there and the money involved. It was even before all this broke out, I think it was last season.
Yeah.
They were saying that so many clubs didn't need anybody through their turnstile with that amount of money they're getting through TV, etc. So clubs even surviving, they were saying they could survive without fans coming through. And this is kind of modern football now, and it's the way it's going. It's TV drives everything.
I think it just totally kind of ties right in with Nick's book, as he gets so disenfranchised with football and what had happened in terms of the commercialisation of it. And he found St Pauli and he fell in love with football again. It's kind of sad that St Pauli is now the same because the fans can't go. You know, hopefully that's a temporary thing, and the ethos of the club will always remain. But I think if MD is watching football and feeling disenfranchised, you need to pick up that book. There's no words, as they say. It was on holiday.
What did you say it's called again? I'll share the link in the comments.
Pirates, Punks and Politics, is it?
Yep.
Pirates, Punks and...
It's by Nick Davidson. Definitely recommend it.
100%. It's a case of, I mean, we watched it. We were reading the book. All season ticket holders, as I say, and it was just we would go over to Germany, and it's an experience, yeah. But actually going to the football is a full day event. Whereas back in Glasgow, you get shipped in 5 minutes before. A lot of people leave 5 minutes before the end, and then you walk back into town, and then that's it. You have a couple of beers and go home. Whereas over in Germany, it's a full day experience. It's, you know, you meet up with your pals. You're in the stadium an hour before. And a lot of times you're in the stadium an hour afterwards. sometimes a couple of hours afterwards in the wine bar. You know what I mean? It's a total different football experience.
There's a group of Liverpool supporters. It's an open invitation. The numbers have kind of been growing each year to go over for a Borussia Mönchengladbach game. So there's been the two fans groups have developed between those two, because we in fact it was 73 and 77 we beat Borussia Mönchengladbach to win the UEFA and the European Cup. They were obviously keen to try and get their revenge somehow. I think they did get beat us in one European year, but just the fans have stayed in touch, or a core group of them has stayed in touch, and so there's a group of Mönchengladbach fans come over to Anfield for a game, and then there's a group of them, and they always get a shout out and do a nice rendition of "You'll Never Walk Alone" over at Mönchengladbach. The whole stadium sings it just to welcome the Liverpool supporters. So I do love seeing that friendship and bonding that can develop between fans from another club, or fans from another country for a team in another country. It certainly shows that we can break down those barriers in terms of the sort of commonly perceived ones that might be there in terms of tribalism, etc.
Yeah, I think the fan culture in Germany is very attractive to a lot of people as well. They're well organised, ultra groups, and even out with watching the team, they do a lot of stuff. And we in Glasgow St Pauli obviously try and do the same kind of things that a normal club over in Hamburg or outside of Hamburg would do. So, like the guys will say, we try to raise money for certain local things here, stuff over there. But even going back to the football side of it, a lot of the German culture is, you see a lot of it in British football now. You know, the way they just do the displays and everything. A lot of that all came from Germany.
Yeah, certainly Liverpool have done quite a few of them over the years for various things. Hillsborough being one of the main ones, obviously, on the anniversary of that. What was the last game that you managed to go over to?
I was over in
November, December?
I think it was after that. I think it might. Oh no, I was over in January, but I don't think there was a game then. Yeah, I think it must have been December. There was a period I was over like nearly once a month, I think, but then this year just feels like it's disappeared. So I don't think it was.
It has, hasn't it?
I think it was December.
Yeah, I think October for me. Last one.
And how is your German now? Sprechen die Deutsch?
I can read it better than I can.
Right.
That way, like if you go to somewhere for so many such a long period, you can start to read things a bit better if you're not. I don't do any courses or anything like that, like I should on my phone, you know, and you're actually pronouncing the words and things, which I think is going to be a quickest way to learn it. But I can read it rather than speak it.
I think that's the thing, they all speak such good English as well. It's so embarrassing that they speak so good English. And we speak kind of broken German, very much pub German is kind of where we're at. You know, we can order the beers, we can order the foods, things like that. But it's obviously it's a different culture. The kids learn English so young, and it's one of those things.
Whenever I'm over, all my mates want to speak English to me because they want to practice it.
It's practice for them.
Yeah, and they just laugh when I make attempts to do it and speak better in German.
When you make attempts to speak English?
Yeah. Yeah, it's this. They just want to speak German to you, English to you all the time whenever you're in Hamburg. It's let it go, you know. And I love some of their accents because it varies from just proper English or to guys that sound as if they're from the Highlands and guys that sound as if they're from America or Ireland. Like all these weird English accents, and it's actually quite enjoyable listening to them at times.
I know. It's interesting where they pick up from. I used to be an English teacher for people learning it as a foreign language. I went to Glasgow Uni to become qualified to do that, and then I taught mostly adults. Pretty much all adults. In Glasgow Uni, it's some night classes for a while, and I did that before I went out to Costa Rica. So it was kind of like that. That was twofold for me. I'd been learning Spanish, and I always wanted to become fluent in another language because I did find it quite embarrassing. Obviously, so many people in other countries speak English, and there doesn't seem to be the same desire or effort put into people here in the UK to learn a foreign language. So I knew by going to Costa Rica to immerse myself in that, that would give me the best opportunity to build on the learning that I'd had from Lorca Espanol, Spanish school in Glasgow. And then I found it quite interesting because the area I went to, Capos in the southwest Pacific coast, one of the older the host families that I was staying with, the Tico Papi there, Carlos, he was a local councillor, and he said, you're probably maybe only like the third Scotsman who's ever been here in about 25 years. So then when I came back, it had been pointed out to me anyway, but it occurred to me that I was leaving a small enclave of English speakers with a Scottish language who thought, well, how well are they actually going to be being understood by American tourists and stuff like that? But just cultural exchanges are very interesting things, aren't they?
Absolutely. Have you been to Hamburg? No.
I've not. No. Just Berlin. Went there. Berlin was 2008, I think. 2009 for my pal's stag. And I remember, typically as you do, Scots abroad, we had kilts on, and it was quite a struggle actually to get into places like that first night out, and then we went, right, let's not wear our kilts out the next night because we just weren't getting in anywhere, which is understandable, I suppose. There's Bob Milton giving a shout out. Thanks for the book recommendation. He's going to read that.
Nice one.
It's there in the comments. So that Nick Davidson then, so he was he the originator of the St Pauli fan clubs here in the UK?
No, not at all. But I've certainly gave him credit since, for us starting GSP. Yorkshire St Pauli in London, to my knowledge, there used to be a UK forum online for UK St Pauli fans. One of the moderators of that actually is just
there we go.
Now one of our good pals. It is. One of the guys.
Stick it back up again, please, Pete. Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
Right.
Good cover.
Cracking book.
Nice.
So Nick wrote that. He was I might get this wrong, I think he's a Watford fan. And as Pete was saying earlier on, he just lost interest in the kind of business world of football rather than football being football. And found St Pauli through, might have been, I think it was a 442 magazine, and he went over and watched it. And like anyone that does go over and watch it, you just, it's different to the extent that you can tell people how different it is, and until you can kind of actually go in and experience it in your own way, because you'll find exactly what's different about it that you enjoy. He's now been the person that's written that English language book, but to my knowledge, Yorkshire and London, I think, might have been the only two UK fan groups before kind of there's been a bit of a kind of explosion worldwide of St Pauli supporters groups, but Yorkshire and London, I think. Joe, what do you think? Think they're the?
Yeah,
I was a member of Yorkshire before I started GSP.
Yeah, they're the ones I seem to remember. But one of the kind of cultural kind of crossovers we had with, say, Glasgow and Hamburg was through the fanzine scene. This was way back in the 90s. We had the Millentor Roar, which was talking about all the politics, everything that was going on in the area, everything going with the football club, everything was happening with the Scots and police brutality down near the harbour and all that. So they got in touch with local fanzines here, which was a Celtic one, Not the View, which I was involved with. And we built up a great friendship with these guys, and it was a lot of the punk ethos, and it was then we didn't have the modern technology we have now that we can speak to each other like this. It was all to do with the fanzine coming out once a month or whatever, and we had exchanges going across with each other. So relationships were built up like that as well. So not a football supporters club built here, but there was a fan base starting, and these were the kind of the first rumblings of St Pauli in Glasgow, if not in Britain, because this is where the military or the fanzine guys over there reached out to us. We felt we had common ground with each other, and it kind of spread from that through the years. And I'm glad to say it still is going through different cultures as we go into from the 90s into now.
So is the Yorkshire and the London one there still going as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yorkshire were kind of, I'll speak personally, they were the blueprint for GSP. I'd been a member of them for a wee bit, but the work that they do locally was knowing if we could kind of get people together and do the same thing. There's Greg, who is a member of Yorkshire and of Southend Scum as well, Athens.
Hey, Greg.
How you doing, Greg?
Thanks for tuning in, Greg.
Yeah, so Yorkshire, very sort of involved in their community, and they still do, obviously not now the current climate, but they do football I think it's 3 days a week now. They put football in for folk in the community. So they were a good sort of example to follow.
100%. Good bunch of guys.
Who actually took their model from United Glasgow, funnily enough. So we went via Yorkshire back to Glasgow to start a Glasgow thing.
Nice. A couple of comments there. It's just tuning in, Sharon Punks. Hi, Mary, just tuning in. If you've just joined us, we're here with three of the guys, Gary, Pete and Joe from Glasgow St Pauli. We're just chatting about the origins of the supporters club and their affiliation obviously with the original club over in Germany. We'll be talking about a fundraiser that's been organised by the guys. The Lockdown Session Online Festival, Saturday the 13th of June, in support of Scottish Refugee Council and Refugee. There's some amazing names on that, as you can see from some bigger established acts like Billy Bragg and the Fratellis, Pauli, She Drew the Gun, down in the People's Republic of Merseyside, some amazing local talent, and Declan Welsh, Van Tees, Daniel Mead, Mick Hargan, John McMustard, Twistettes, it goes on. Talking about what you have actually done then over the years, so there's Greg giving you a wee hello there. If you're watching us on the YouTube, please feel free to give the 23 Universe YouTube a subscribe, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for tuning in. So, when did you sort of first decide then, or what made you first go and look to see like what you could do in terms of like music fundraisers? When was the first one of them? How did that go for you?
That was with United Glasgow actually. It was in this going to be our third year gig. So 3 years ago we put on a gig in QMU in Glasgow, and we'd loved it. Being completely honest, we'd never done it before. But Alan for United Glasgow was pals with Los Fastidios, who's on the lineup there. So he knew he could get them involved. We've had the Wakes play at our first anniversary party, so we wanted to get them back involved in it as well. And from then, we just kind of realised if we've got them two together, we could maybe start to see what we could do in terms of one big sort of fundraiser. And yeah, we just we went for it. We all like our music, and thankfully the kind of bands that we were getting on the lineup were, you know, that way inclined that they got what we were doing. So it was I think it was like 350 or 400 people at the first event, which was way beyond any sort of expectation that we had. And it was the first time that we got to showcase a guy called Joe Solo, who's playing on the bill, who is, if you're watching this and you haven't listened to Joe, just go and Google him, Joe Solo. He's fucking incredible.
Well, we can play videos from YouTube, provided they're not like on a major label or anything. There's any copyright infringement. Otherwise, the YouTube shut us down for that. I've already had my knuckles wrapped once for there's an Australian band called Empire of the Sun, who had a sort of their breakthrough single, Walking on a Dream. So I had Medicine Men on a couple of Fridays ago, I think it was now. We were just celebrating the launch of their second album, A Different Port, on lockdown, and they were talking about the influences to their album, and they mentioned Empire of the Sun. So I played their video, not knowing. It seems quite counterintuitive to me that YouTube put a block on it. Like, their robots are obviously all over it, but it seems strange to me because you're playing it from the YouTube platform and you're promoting the band. So I don't understand why they wouldn't want to see themselves. But more local and more underground bands like Medicine Men's videos, etc., we were able to play. So we can have a wee musical interlude and play some Joe Solo if you want. What would you recommend?
He's got a great song. Depends what kind of mood you're wanting. There's a good song called JFK, which is primarily welcoming refugees. And it was about a protest that took place outside of JFK Airport in America. And they were having that clown Trump. I think it's when he first introduced all the kind of the bans in place for anyone that was not native to America. That's a great song.
Yeah, I can see that there now. Written in tribute to the thousands of people who protested outside JFK Airport at those detained inside by 45's immigration ban. I've got a video recording here that he released for his Joe Solo, the Shed sessions. So give a shout out. We'll have a you're fine with having a watch of that then? We'll just have a wee musical interlude. Yep.
Absolutely.
Cool. We've got Selena. Evening all, massive love to everyone and thank you for all you're doing. I wish I had energy to hang out and chat, but I'm exhausted trying to be better at recognising that. Keep it a great work and thank you so much. Promise I'm reserving some energy for the lockdown sessions. As ever, the refugee inbox is always open, especially busy night for all. So keep fighting the good fight and best for you. Thanks for tuning in, Selena. Likewise, Selena there is from Refugee, who we've been pals with. Selena, I used to work with her husband Ross way back in the day, and our band as well have also done some fundraisers, and we used to give tickets to Refugee to bring some newly arrived refugees in the city along to some of our gigs to let them experience some culture. For those of you who don't know, Refugee, amazing organisation who are now based out of the old FOP on Byers Road in Glasgow. I'll give their Facebook page a share in the comments. They are one of the charities that the lockdown sessions has been organised to benefit for. Put that into the comments. You can give their Facebook page a wee link. Please check them out, what they do. Sharon's wanting a wee dance. So let's get some music on for Shazza. That's Shazza up in Glenrothes. Okay, so we're about to play Joe Solo from the Shed sessions. It's JFK. I'll just mute us, guys. It's 2 minutes 54 seconds long, so we'll be back in about 3 minutes roughly. So enjoy some Joe Solo.
Can you hear the sound of voices out there in the street? That sound is singing sighs up when you're in defeat, yeah. And hopes a stranger who would raise their voice for me as I land in the land of the free. And he's singing no hits, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hits, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. Can you hear the sound of Chiron's peeping in support of 11 people held captive in this cold airport, yeah. And hopes a stranger who would keep their arm for me as I land in the land of the free. And it's singing no hits, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hits, no fear. Refugees are welcome here. Refugees are welcome here. No hits, no fear. Refugees are welcome here.
And we're back. That was some Joe Solo there. Very much singing it the way it should be. Refugees welcome. It's always been and the debate around refugees. I mean, to me, it's quite simple. It's cause and effect. If you don't want refugees, then stop creating situations in which there needs to be refugees. Let's not have these stupid fucking senseless wars for the military-industrial complex to bomb fuck out of someone's country and then create refugees. That's the way I see it. There's Mary saying great song, great lyrics. I'll give Joe's YouTube link of that song there a share in the comments. Feel free to go and check out more of what he does. Give his channel a wee subscribe, please. You know, we're all about promoting as much music as we possibly can on this show. Clearly a difficult time for so many. We want to give musicians as well as much of a solid foundation to try and come out of this with just generating more awareness around what they do. If you're enjoying the music, then see what you can source direct, maybe go on their Bandcamp, buy music directly from them, support them in that way. I'm sure it'll all help and give them motivation to keep on doing what they're doing. Where's Joe from?
Joe's from Scarborough. Joe travels up. Anytime he's played for us, he's drove up in the van and then just drove back home again that night. Not take a penny, not even petrol money.
just a nicer guy you'll not meet. There's no doubt about it. It's he'll spend his time talking to anybody that wants to talk to him. So passionate about what he does. As I say, I think Gary nailed it. He'll not take a penny, and you know that he's driving up 5-6 hours for a gig, you know what I mean, and then just driving straight back down again. Doesn't get to do it for free, but he does it for free. What a nicer guy! You'll never meet a nicer guy. So well spoken.
How did he come across your radar?
That's a good question.
Was it Billy Bragg?
Yes and no. I think it was through the guys from Trade Union Pale Ale, bunch of anti-fascists on Twitter that I'm pals with, and they do quite a lot of gigs. They used to put on gigs down south. I think they don't do as many anymore, but I think it came about through them. I think they might have recommended me. And the minute that I'd kind of heard about him and asked them if he wanted to be part of it, two of our members in Dundee, Alan and Lynn, they'd already seen him about the same sort of scene. So they straight away, they were just like, if you get Joe, keep Joe. Just like anything you do, you just need Joe in it, and they couldn't have been more right. He's amazing. Superb.
I'll just bring that poster up again there. So, talk us through the lineup. So, how have you been getting in touch? Then, have you got like, do you know specific band members or that kind of thing, or what was the thinking behind reaching out to who you reached out to?
A wee bit, as you'll know, David, like from contacting you, it's been a case of if I've known people within bands, then I've asked them to play at the live gig before, and obviously due to their schedule, they've not always been able to, but they have always generously said, get back in touch if there's anything else we could ever do. And obviously with sort of situation forced on us with COVID, it's looking, at this moment, it's still not confirmed to us yet, but it's looking unlikely that this year's gig could possibly go ahead as we want it to. So we wanted to put something on that was still going to be able to support Scottish Refugee Council and Refugee, because even though it's just an event from us, like any sort of fundraising for these groups, you'll know yourself, there's no sort of, can't put a price on it. The support reaches as wide as it. It's not just a monetary thing. The support will reach to a person individually. So we wanted to do what we could still do, and it was a case of I'm a bit like a dog with a bone when I've got an idea in my head, and sadly for all the people that I have pestered the life out of, yourself included, it's the only way you can kind of really get a lineup like that. Like for our supporters club in Glasgow who've got a lineup like that, it's good because it shows you it can be done. It just needs to take a lot of people kind of getting together and want to do something. Because there's plenty of people out there that these are musicians that their bread and butter is performing, and we know that. And because it's a fundraiser, they're not taking any money for it. Even though the argument people could say they're just sitting at home, they're playing the guitar. This is someone's livelihood. So the fact that they're all doing it for us is absolutely incredible, and we'll do all we can to promote every single band that's on that, especially in the lead up to it. So yeah, the fact that we had so many people within our kind of friend list, if you like, that had said before, look, if we can do something, then it was a case of, well, you can, do you want to do it? And thankfully it's been incredible, the amount of people that's get back. And your man said, John, he sent that through the other day. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's brilliant. It's really, really good.
There's just a wee shout out there in the comments. Michael, all the best from Belfast. Thanks for tuning in, Michael. Sharon's overdosing. I'm overdosing in pink. I don't know if you mean punk or is it pink gin? What are you overdosing in?
Could be the
Charlotte?
artist pink, who knows?
The artist pink, aye.
Mm.
Seen she was getting quite a lot of flack actually. That so just with so many artists, it's I don't even feel as if it needs to be said. It's just it's the right thing. But obviously it is the right thing. Getting behind for me anyway. Everybody's got their individual choice about how they wanted to recognise yesterday being the Blackout Tuesday, they were calling it, for the Black Lives Matter campaign and in support of the Justice for George Floyd campaign. So quite a lot of artists, etc., got on board with that, and I seen Pink putting out a response tweet to that saying, "Look, I'm not even concerned if this is something that if you feel the need to be, if this is making you uncomfortable that I'm doing this, or if you feel the need to even lodge a negative response in any way, then just unfollow me. I don't want you as one of my fans." And we're at a stage now where it's like the Desmond Tutu quote, if you're neutral in situations of injustice, then you've taken the side of the oppressor. I'm paraphrasing there, but it's something like that anyway. And we really are at a crossroads, and internationally now, where we really do need to be showing more solidarity to take a stance on this matter, because it's so important.
Yeah.
I think one of the good things we've got going with this one as well is we're getting, it's not just local bands in UK, Italian and German as well. And especially I was talking to the Italian boys and the German boys especially, were just coming out of lockdown, and they had a real strict lockdown, and it was really difficult for them. And right away they just said yes, which was it's amazing that they're doing it. And you kind of get I'm quite a lot when I see things like this, especially like for example, Take That, for example, coming out in shows and telling people to contribute money when they are tax dodgers and all the rest of it. And you get real artists here who get what we're doing and support it. They actually support before they're even contributing to this.
Yeah.
So there's a massive difference between other things that are going on. Now, there is plenty of other things going on, but this is the guys who are put themselves forward for this. They really mean it. You know, it's not a showcase.
Who are the Italian and German acts, Joe?
You've got Slime, who are in the third row down to the right.
Okay.
If any punks out there, listen, they're a massive German punk band. Big St. Pauli boys from Hamburg. Very, very big in Germany. Go way back to the early 70s with their punk rock. So they're good. Couple of Italian bands in. I think we've got three Italians, haven't we, Gary?
Yep.
We've got Ferro Solo, Johnny Clash, and
Los
Fastidios as well. So yeah, so that adds a wee bit more to it, which I think is really nice.
It's an international lineup.
100%.
Very, very much so. Lots of good pals of mine there on that lineup. The Twist Eights actually. They've. Give me a second. It's Twist Eights. They've released a new video on lockdown, which I think was just filmed on camera phone, mobile phones. I'm just doing a quick YouTube search just now. Yes, it came out on the 22nd of May. On the Table, it's called. Have you seen that video?
I've seen it, aye.
Yep.
Pete?
I've seen it, mate.
shall we have another wee musical interlude? We'll give a wee play to the Twist Edison.
Absolutely.
Rightio. So this is called On the Table from the Twistettes. They released it on the 22nd of May, and yeah, even some comments in there. It's hard to believe it was done on mobile phones. I think it was Martin Windybank. Yes, edited by Martin Windybank, filmed by Mark McGee, who has the You Call That Radio podcast. And we'll give this a wee play just now. We'll see you on the other side of this then, and enjoy some Twistets.
Table, it's up to me. Oh, sing, baby, baby, sing for me. Clash with the ceiling, head up to here. Oh, I clash with well-being. Why can't you waste away with me? Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Dance on the table, full up to here. Oh, dance, baby, baby, dance for me. Circle the table to down, beats. Fuck romance on the table. Why can't you waste away with me? Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Hands on the table, it's up to me. Oh, sing, baby, baby, sing for me. Clash with the ceiling, head up to here. Oh, I clash with well-being. Why can't you waste away with me? Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Dance on the table, full up to here. Oh, dance, baby, baby, dance for me. Circle the table to down, beats. Fuck romance on the table. Why can't you waste away with me? Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Hands on the table, it's up to me. Oh, sing, baby, baby, sing for me. Clash with the ceiling, head up to here. Oh, I clash with well-being. Why can't you waste away with me? Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Waste away with me. Dance on the table, full up to here. Oh, dance, baby, baby, dance for me. Circle the table to down, beats. Fuck romance on the table. Why can't you waste away with me?
There we go. The lost Pete, he's back.
There it is.
There we go. Just a few comments coming up. Sharon was just clarifying there. It was overdose in pink for the gig poster. Well, there was a lot of names on that gig poster that we were wanting to have a read through whilst it was up there. Sharon, Samantha, yes, definitely. Thank you for tuning in. Shaz, I hadn't seen it yet. Brilliant video from Mary. She's seen it a few times now. Love Joe's voice. She can fair belt it out. She certainly can. So I'll just give a share for that in the comments as well. Stick it on your watch list, your playlist, whatever. Give the Twistettes YouTube channel a wee subscribe. You can keep up to date with what they're doing. Have you managed to catch the Twistettes live before a few times?
Yeah, they played their gig last year,
Yeah?
They played the gig last year, didn't they?
Played last year, yeah. Seen them once before that.
Was that the QMU? Was it?
No, what do you call it? They played last year at the QMU for us, but I'd seen them in stereo. Yeah, they played in the QMU, and then Richard Jobson gave them a support slot for the Armoury show, because he was compering our event last year, and it's the first time he'd heard them as well. So they managed to get a support slot for the Armoury show as well. But either they're amazing live. The video they've sent for us, I'll need to put a shout out to everyone's neighbours. Honestly, see the sets that we've received, because everyone's recording them at home. The neighbours must be wondering what the fuck's going on in some of them. It's just Joe and the Twistettes one that she sent us, but it's just acoustic, and you listen to their songs, you know, it's got fuzz in the bass constantly, and it's not there because it's just acoustic, but it still sounds brilliant. A lot of good sets coming at this.
Great, for a two-piece band, they're one of the loudest bands I think I've ever heard. They really are. I remember, I think it was year one, so the second year of Lindisfarne Festival. I remember driving down, and you go down, like you're heading right towards the coast, the causeway that takes you out to Lindisfarne, and you're driving down this B road, and then you see the festival over on your right hand side with a long access road to get into it, and it was quite it was a warm evening, so I had the windows down as I was driving up anyway, and then from the access road I could actually, that's the Twistettes. Just like hearing them from so far away. Shout out to the Twistettes. They were brilliant. There's John Duncan on the YouTube. They were great at QMU.
It's my father-in-law there.
Oh, is it? Nice one. Thanks for joining us, John. I will just give the 23 Universe YouTube a share in the comments there if you wouldn't mind subscribing to that. That would be great. Thank you very much. So in terms of, I mean, I love hearing about people's how they discovered music and how you first sort of like fell in love with them. So like going round down, going a clockwise then, Gary. What's your sort of your earliest memories of music then, or like the sort of the first bands or artists that you fell in love with?
I'll open up the embarrassing thing then, right? The first song I ever bought was 7-inch vinyl of Bryan Adams, Everything I Do. That was my first.
Was that in 94 or something?
Must have been about, because I would have only been about 93 or 94. I think it was 9 or 10, yeah.
Right.
So that certainly didn't pave the way for what I listened to afterwards. I was also not subjected, but didn't really appreciate it. But like the Beastie Boys and the Beatles, and randomly Duran Duran as well, were my first sort of early memories of music that was played to me by parents. And something in there, the Beatles stuck. And then for my, I think it was Oasis for me that then opened up the full musical sort of landscape that I then stuck to.
Right, okay. What about yourself, Joe?
3 older sisters, and I'm a bit older than the other 2 guys. I was brought up in glam rock, the Sweet, T-Rex. I didn't really know at the time how cool they were. I just got to hear them constantly in the house with my older sisters. Roxy Music was about at the time as well. Bay City Rollers, Slick, all that stuff is my childhood music. But the thing that did it for me was punk rock. That just blew me away when I heard punk. Just overnight, basically, I was a punk rocker. Loved the Clash, Pistols, even the pop side of all the undertones. I always had that kind of pop, I like pop music as well. So I loved the way the Buzzcocks had all that kind of energy, but it wasn't in your face the way some of the other punk bands were. So that all came through. As another band, as Gary said, I love the hip hop. I just like all forms of music, to be honest. But if put in the spot, had to be punk rock. It just changed everything. The way I used to think about things.
There's a Clash quote which has been up as my cover picture a few times now anyway, I think, but still resonates as strongly with me today as it does when they said it. People ought to know that we're anti-fascist, we're anti-violence, we're anti-racist, and we're pro-creative. We're against ignorance. Well said, Joe Strummer. What a man.
And many years ago, they did the anti-racist gig in Hyde Park.
That's right.
And it's not much has
Rock
changed.
against racism.
Yeah, and not much has changed, has it? We're still
I
trying
know.
to rock against racism.
I know. It's I seen a woman at one of the American protests, and their poster says, I can't believe I'm 66 and I'm still having to protest against this shit.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's such a, I mean, it's intergenerational, clearly. Like, racism isn't something you're born with. You're just not. Like, you fire, if you had a group of toddlers at kindergarten or a nursery or whatever, like they don't, nobody's inherently racist.
No.
So, but it's just all these fucked up institutions and fucked up generations that want to fucking brainwash their children into believing this exceptionalism and this fucking white supremacy, and well, all the way from like going back to fucking talking about Johnson again, as we were like before we came on. You know what I mean? Like entitled elites that just think they have a born right to fucking rule over others. It's quite despairing, and it's like, how do we break those cycles?
Yeah, before we go on to, because I'm genuinely interested about Pete's musical interest.
Oh yeah, sorry, Pete.
Before we get into that though, the thing that's a bit different now, I think personally, is that the good folk are getting made to feel like they're in the wrong. Like right now, anti-fascists became a taboo. How the fuck has that happened? You know what I mean? Like that's where there's like something fundamentally wrong. Where people see that
it's swung round now. They're the ones in power. Not that we were ever in power, so to speak, but there was a kind of middle ground in power. But definitely Trump and Boris Johnson, the right wing is in power. They've got control. But anyway, Pete, please tell us.
Pete.
What can I say? My music was totally eclectic. My first gig, Barrowlands, baby. I went to Com at 12, 13. I had a great time. As I say, then as Joe said, got into the punk side of things. Very much kind of Green Day, kind of Offspring. Moved more into the classics kind of stuff. Nirvana opened my eyes, you know. It was just one of those things where listening to Smells Like Teen Spirit, really just like, this is different, you know. This is the kind of music I want to listen to. It's so eclectic. I'll listen to anything you put in front of me. I might not enjoy it, but I'll still listen to it. But yeah, as I say, I'll still listen to Corn every now and again, have a little giggle. How did I used to like this? This is awful. Sorry, Corn fans, but it was awful.
Freak on a Leash.
Yeah, that was it. You know,
That was
cutting
the
about me
big.
the Strappies.
Aye, I went through a phase of that myself actually, like the whole MTV2 era, where I mean my music tastes are very eclectic as well. I'd probably say my top three bands are the Beatles, Radiohead, and Interpol from New York. To throw this millennium band into the mix in terms of probably who I listen to the most, but then after that, it's just so wide and varied as well, from like just your classic 60s and 70s bands, like Stones and the Who and the Doors, and Jimi
What was
Hendrix.
the first song you bought?
My first album tape was Nevermind. My first album CD was Wish You Were Here.
Right.
And
First song? The first song's a lot more embarrassing always.
Right, so my first song, I reckon, I'm not 100% about this, but I think it was Yaz, The Only Way Is Up.
Classic.
7-inch record. I think so. I'm not. There's maybe like a few things that were probably kicking about around about the time. Might even have been the Time Lords with Doctor in the TARDIS. It would have been something like that. Anyway, I just like that's a specific time in my life that I remember. Like, oh right, well, whatever, like pocket money. Let's buy music. But just what going with what Pete had said there. There was like definitely an MTV2 phase that was like Papa Roach and Limp Bizkit and Korn and those kind of bands and stuff like that were getting like a lot of airplay at that time. Mary was saying that she loved T-Rex and Bowie. Sharon's big into her ska. T-Rex as well. Like you were saying there, Joe. Like they're one of those bands that I think people maybe more appreciated them afterwards. Certainly, Noel Gallagher stole the riff for the beginning of Cigarettes and Alcohol. It was actually like they had to pay out royalties to that, although Noel did say he was a musical magpie, so they've had to pay out in quite a few songs actually. The Oasis did.
I remember
paid for the success.
I remember when I was younger watching Mark Boland, his TV programme, and he introduced some great punk bands on it, like Generation X and all that. I was maybe about 15 or something at the time, and I was watching this and just like going, this is just amazing, you know. It was near the end of Mark Boland's career, to be honest enough. He was trying different things, but it was just great him introducing this kind of rebel young punk music into the scene on TV.
There was definitely a conversation going on between him and Bowie when they named both of their first children Roland Bolin and Zowie Bowie.
Aye.
I think they were trying to take some inspiration from Frank Zappa. What was he? He had Dweezil and Moon Unit.
Moon Unit.
I think they kept their names, but Bowie's son Zowie, he changed it to something normal, didn't he?
Is that the guy that's a film director now? Where he makes documentaries and stuff? Probably,
aye. I think Bowie... officially, I think Bowie's only fathered 2 children. So there was one with Angie, and then Iman had a daughter with Iman, didn't he?
It's no fair to compare him to Boris Johnson, surely not.
Not certainly not in that respect. Anyway, I'd never disparaged the great man's memory in that respect. How about? I know we said we would wrap this up round about the 90-minute mark. Says we've had quite a topical conversation around football. You've got John McMustard on the lineup. Have you seen his video for "You'll Simply Never Walk Alone" the best?
No.
No.
Do you know? Do you know?
I really want
song?
to.
Did you know he had that song?
I did not.
So John's done. Hold on, Sharp's got a question here. What's his name that was that Downchill, that reggae guy with red hair who's 83? He was the Whalers producer. Fuck. Lee Scratch Perry. Lee Scratch Perry, that's the one. He played down the rabbit hole last year and he wouldn't go off the stage. And then they finally had to kind of usher him off. And then the next band that went on, he came on during the next band set. It was just like freestyling in his own way. But he's certainly
seen him. Brilliant.
He's in a world of his own. So John McMustard, aka Colonel Mustard, from Colonel Mustard and the Dijon 5. John released his solo album Sports Mixture, which is kind of quite a few songs on it are about various different sports that he's had issues with growing up, shall we say. It's just funny and topical and satirical and stuff like that as well. So growing up, he's obviously, as we have in Glasgow, in the hotbed of sectarianism, he decided to write a song amalgamating the two anthems of Celtic and Rangers called "You'll Simply Never Walk Alone" the best. So we'll have a wee watch of this video and we'll see you on the other side in 4 minutes. So sit back and enjoy.
Hold on.
Sectarian division of a Christian schism, with more mixed messages than the little middle section, made prominent by a Roman emperor who worshipped the sun, and split up by a fat king who killed his wives and annulled one. 1-0, and all, 1-0, though I know they are not new. You simply never walk alone the best. You simply never walk alone the best. Nazi saluting while wearing a poppy. Ironic bigotry's a horrible hobby. You simply never walk alone the best. You simply never walk alone the best. Camouflage trousers with a high-vis vest. Make your mind up, mate, or get a rest. No guts, no spine, and a head full of slime. No job, no idea, furniture from IKEA. Take a slash, wear a sash, hope your team's not gash. Both sides prey on your loyalty and take your cash. Does the Pope shit in the woods? Is the beer a Catholic? You simply never walk alone the best. You simply never walk alone the best. Nazi saluting while wearing a poppy. Ironic bigotry or a horrible hobby. You simply never walk alone simply never walk alone the best. Camouflage trousers with the high-vis vest. Make your mind up, mate, or be it a rest. Pretend you're Irish like a homesick American. Sing songs about history when you failed your standard grades. Celebrate battle victories when you would all run away. Religion is dying and we're all interbreeding now anyway. We are the sheeple, our minds are feeble. We are the popo. You simply never walk alone the best. You simply never walk alone the best. Nazi saluting while wearing a poppy. Ironic bigotry or a horrible hobby. You simply never walk alone the best. You simply never walk alone the best. Camouflage trousers with the high-vis vest. Make your mind up, mate, or be it a rest.
IT
Big
issues
fan
are
of
coming back.
Big fan.
Yep.
Aye, it's good. It's catchy anyway. I can't see the chorus catching on in either of the two stands, mind you.
No, not quite. Not quite.
I'll give that a wee share in the comments. That was John McMustard. You'll simply never walk alone the best. Released on Button Up Records, which is Gary John Kane, who's the bassist for the Proclaimers. That's his record label. If you're interested in the album, I'll stick the album in there as well. And I'll give John's Facebook page a share there in the comments if you want to give his page a wee link if you didn't know he had a personal one as well. Okay, so before we wrap up then, just at the 10:30 mark then, as we'd agreed beforehand, anything else you want to just let people know then about the lockdown sessions?
We'll be showing the first year's gig, which was in the QMU, this Saturday night. I think we'll have that sorted by then, Pete.
Yep.
Yep. That will also, without saying it, be an indication as to what the whole thing's going to be shown on. We just don't want to say it just yet because you mentioned earlier on, David, there's a few sort of things that can get stuff shut down and we don't want to risk that at all. So what we're broadcasting it on seems just now to be too good to be true, and I think it'll be perfectly fine. But we just don't want to risk it. But we're going to show the first gig on Saturday. So when people, we'll put that out and stuff. When people log in and watch that.
So is this last year's gig, did you say?
No, the first year's. Guy,
first year's, sorry, right.
Yeah, in fact, I'll give him a wee shout out. Rainfire Films. It's called Andrew Rainey. He's a film maker and author in Glasgow. He filmed the full thing for us, and it's very well shot. So we've got the full 4.5 hours, I think it was 4 hours of that gig. So we're going to put that on as a kind of wee run up this Saturday night because nobody's got anything else to be doing just now. So you can tune in, watch it. It's got Mick Hargan, who's on this year's bill. It's got Andy McBride also on the bill. It's got, they were known as what are they called? They're now Shopalowski, but their previous name is totally just escaped me. Pete, no idea.
Nope.
I'm taking you down.
They were
with me.
very good though. They were very good.
Have a wee quick think about that. I'll just rattle through the comments that came through there, see if you can remember. Samantha, it's superb, simply Lochlan the best. Mary was there filming John on his phone live on Facebook outside Box. Samantha seen John at the Fringe, he was superb, and the guy with the do in his head, that's his cousin Stu. There's a nice from John Latimer. Shazza had a wee dance there. And there's Leon. Hi, Gary. She's a wee bit late to this
How you
tonight.
doing, Lee?
No bother, Lee. Thanks for joining us. I'm guessing Johnny's sleeping now anyway. I hope so anyway at this time. Did you remember, Gary?
The Exiles is what they're called. So yeah, they were part of it as well as the Wakes and Los Fastidios. So everyone can watch that this Saturday night and get a wee feel for what the lockdown sessions is going to be like, but obviously just recorded in people's living rooms. So that will be on a media platform, not too unlike what one of this is getting shown on tonight. So it's fairly simple and straightforward to watch.
Nice. Lee was just saying, nope, Johnny's not sleeping yet. Is she watching? Shout out to Johnny. Hi, Johnny. That's Lee's
Hello, Johnny.
baby girl. So this Saturday then on where can people keep updated on that? Just through your Twitter?
Yeah, through the Glasgow St Twitter.
Right, okay, I'll just give that a wee share for all you Twitterers. Just pop that in the comments, give them a wee follow please then. You'll be kept up to date then with how you can tune in, watch their year one fundraiser gig, and so that's going to be your test then to see how all the IT will work then for the 14th.
13th.
Sorry, 13th. Yeah, 13th. Saturday the 13th.
I'm just correcting myself there. Yes, the 13th.
I'm 12 weeks on Sunday on lockdown, and
it's June apparently. Who knew?
I know what dates. I've been getting up some days thinking it's been 2 days before, and then the next day I've been getting up thinking I'm just like, what's going on here? I'm sure I'm not alone in that. There's a well done from John. Thanks John for tuning in. Sharon said it was a great night at the Icebox watching Johnny Boy. Yeah, it was. Okay.
David, sorry.
Yes.
Big question for you, just because we've got the kind of audience for it. What's your thoughts then on, you were saying to me the other day about live music after this, like a bit of a worry then for some venues and stuff?
Yeah, very much so. I think whilst I've not seen anything sort of in the government's or Scottish government's 5-point plan for reopening things, in terms of what would be the last things to reopen, I think it's going to be 500 plus large gatherings indoors, which it's putting the future of live music under some serious threat. I mean, the stuff that's kind of officially came out, the Music Venue Trust, which is the umbrella organisation with roughly about 750 members. This is now last month, I think it was. They had about 520 odd that had contacted them and said that they needed immediate financial assistance, otherwise they were under threat of pretty near future closure. Just so many of these venues are really kind of like just operating on a gig to gig, paying their staff 0 hours contracts basis. There was a campaign done. Shout out to Luke Gibson from Luke Lavolpe, who just recently went to the Scottish #1 there and top 5 in the iTunes charts with his Terribly Beautiful EP. He started up the Sofa Phone Sing Along, which got some great musicians backing it, and I think that was part of a wider campaign that the Music Venue Trust were doing. And I think all in it raised about £1.5 million, which, when distributed, was roughly about enough to help about 120 of the venues. Just get over, like, even, I don't know, like the next sort of like 3 to 6 month period that they were saying that they needed a quick cash injection. I don't know where they stand in terms of like government help or that kind of thing, but it's grim. Aye, I'd love to have something more positive to say on that, but
I think.
Sorry, I was laughing at Bill's comment. That's what I was laughing at. I wasn't laughing at the point of music.
Towards the end.
I know what. Hi, Bill.
I think there's possibly got to be enough people that are that invested in like live music scene that, you know, I don't know what can be done, but there needs to be something put together between the likes of artists and fans that can just change the way things are going to be for a while. That might be a stopgap. Don't know what the answer is, but, you know, it's like there's got to be some sort of way of working it.
Hi, Bill. I was reading articles. Drive-in gigs have started in Germany. I think just before Germany, I think the very first one reported was in Denmark, in Aarhus. I seen a big piece in the Rolling Stone magazine talking about the musical landscape in the USA, and it was between a big DJ over there, Live Nation as a promoter, and then somebody else that was contributing to the article piece. But basically, they were saying that like drive-in gigs are going to have to be the in-between transition point to still let people experience music in a live setting, but it would need to be socially distanced and done from the safety of cars.
At least you're kind of protected for any pints going over your head, don't you?
Definitely. I mean, what's your thoughts? Would you just go to a drive-in gig?
All depends who was playing, to be honest.
Yeah,
it has to be the thought of it, but if it helps out,
if the lineup, okay, I was just about to say there, Joe. If the lineup ticked your boxes, then that would be a yes from you.
Yeah, I'd need to try and support artists as much as I could. They've gave me a lot, so I think I would, as much as I wouldn't like it, maybe sitting in a car watching a gig, but if it helps them out, I would do it.
What about yourself, Pete?
Well, it's definitely creative. You know, it was definitely drive-throughs were a thing for the 50s. So I don't know how much fun it would be sitting in your motor. But like Joe says, it's about supporting the artists, supporting the venues. Then you need to try and do something.
I mean, well, I've got quite a few full-time musician pals who I'm going to need to get a real job now. That's the situation that some of them are in. I think in the USA, if you think that like drive-in cinemas was such a big part of their culture, like when they had those outdoor spaces, also it's a much more spacious country than the United Kingdom, certainly anyway. But when they had those outdoor spaces, like people were used to driving into those spaces anyway and lining up to watching cinema on big screens. So as that sort of died out, and then the 60s music explosion took over, a lot of the owners of those spaces then just went, okay, well, we just need to stick a stage there now, and then people are going to come in. So a lot of these spaces are still pretty much able to just go, right, okay, well, we need to go back to that old model of how people come in now, and if it's just going to be in cars, then there's still a stage there and they can play. So I think a lot of it will be down to where are you going to do it here in the UK? I'm on try to think who's. It's like one of the ticketing agencies' mailing lists anyway, and it was on that about drive-in cinemas starting that they were pushing and promoting. So I think they're coming. There's only so long that musicians are going to be able to sit in their homes and do like these streaming gigs and things like that as well. I can't see any transitional bridging option that is going to be legal, safe and workable, other than drive-in gigs before being able to do real gigs in an outdoor space with social distancing. But again, like we were talking about this as well, like, but before we started, like, once folk get a bevy in them, like, how do you enforce social distancing and things? So
Yeah.
it's aye, it's a complex situation. Sharon was saying there that he wants to be sharing someone's sweat. Well, think about what's in that sweat, Sharon. I would rather set up a direct debit up to help them. Fair enough. As long as you can dance outside your car, climb onto your roof, dance on your roof, Sharon. Maintain a social distance. Guys, I'm conscious of the time, and I know you are working tomorrow as well. There's a wee last comment in there from Bill. Venues like the QMU thrived because of getting up close to the act and jumping around. It's hard to see gigs of 500 rammed in length for the Idols for a long time. I was at that Idols gig as well, Bill. It was epic. Have you seen Idols video for their new song that they've done on lockdown, Mr. Motivator?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's me too. That's well done by the AF gang. Shout out to them. I wouldn't be able to. I doubt I'd be able to get away with playing that anyway. But guys, any sort of final words and anything you'd like to say to the audience that we've got here about your upcoming show?
From me, is just tune in, watch it, have a good day, and donate what you can.
I think you nailed it there. Absolutely nailed it. That's the whole point.
When I was a kid, I used to sit up all night listening to John Peel. You get one gem out of it, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Agreed. Even if he was playing it at the wrong speed. As famously done more than once, I believe.
Yes.
We also
Pete,
just to throw in, just because you said it, and it's too easy not to say. Our gig last year, Titch.
Thanks, Neil.
One of our members was doing the DJing for the day, and he finished up the entire gig with Hell's Bells, which is played in the Millentots in Pauli before every home game, and he played it at the wrong speed. It was a speeded up AC/DC, and it was fucking hilarious.
Absolutely amazing.
Guys, well, thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been Glasgow St Pauli, and make sure you check out the lockdown session Saturday the 13th of June, online festival. Love Glasgow, hate racism, support Scottish Refugee Council and Refugee with Unite Scotland. Phenomenal lineup there. Please go on, check out their Twitter. Just last comment there, I'll put in the comments is your Twitter link again. Thank you, Neil, for tuning in there. Thanks for your feedback. So, Gary, Joe, Peter, thank you very much for your time. Keep up the great work, guys. Solidarity with what you're doing. And good night. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back again tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. We have tomorrow night is Tommy Slack from 0405 Photography, phenomenal music and video director, and Derek Mackay from iFilms and Mackay Photos. They released a brilliant trio of films called A Ouija Abroad. So we'll be talking about that and more about what they've been doing in their creative space and keeping themselves busy on lockdown. So peace, love, take care of one another, look after yourselves. Thank you very much and good night.
Take
See you
care.
later.
See you later.